Hey guys, Richard here. Welcome to my 180 day challenge. This is week 1. Now, I've already done an introduction to the 180 day challenge. If you haven't had a chance to catch that, go and watch the video now and it'll explain to you exactly what I'm doing here. Now, these videos that I'm going to produce every single week are going to show you the progress that I've made so far in building my own affiliate marketing business so that you can see how you can actually go along and do the same. Now, what I'm going to be doing is following this Taking Action Online action plan to build the foundations of the business first. Now, if you've never heard of Taking Action Online, there is a link in the description below. Go and take the Fast Track Affiliate Bootcamp and it'll kind of teach you what Taking Action Online is all about. But basically, the first 7 steps here that you see, these are all split into some fundamental topics that you need to kind of get done as you're building your business from scratch. And this is completely from nothing, right? Now, I have built a business before. Obviously, I've got a YouTube channel that this video is on. I want to kind of do a similar kind of thing, but I want to actually do it from scratch. So I've got no YouTube channel, nothing created so far. I'm not 100% sure what the niche is going to be, and that's kind of the starting point I want to make during this video. So we're going to jump into niche simplicity here. I'm actually going to jump into a nice little tool that's going to help me determine what niche I want to build the new business in, and then over the next coming weeks, you'll see how that develops into whatever platform I'm going to put that on, and then how I actually start building up the foundations of that business. So let's jump straight into niche simplicity first here. So the thought pattern here is that I'm going to start building a business around something that I'm interested in. That's the main thing, and that's the main thing for you as well. Think about the type of topics that you're interested in. Maybe it's something that you work with, that you want to develop as a skill and actually tell other people about, or it might be something that you just watch or a hobby or something like that. So kind of make sure you're interested in it, because in 6 months, 12 months time, you're going to be actually building a business day to day, putting content out there in your business, and you don't want something that's going to be too dry or you run out of ideas from. So make sure there's plenty of stuff that you can actually do within that particular niche. Next thing is, don't chase the money straight away. Now, the obvious thing is, when you build an affiliate marketing business, is you want something that's going to make you loads of money. Don't chase the money straight away. Think about having a niche that's interesting, that you can add some kind of value to, and then the money will come. Nearly every niche out there has got some form of affiliate program that you can actually go ahead and look at and look for products to promote within that program. You want to be just thinking first of all what I'm interested in. So they're the key things here. Now I'm going to jump over to a handy little tool that you've probably heard about now, ChatGPT, and I'm actually going to use this to come up with some niche ideas. Now I'm going to give it some very generic prompts to start with, and then we're going to drill down into the actual niche ideas and figure out what within that niche I could actually start looking at. Because when you have a niche at first, you want to make sure that it's not too wide a scope, because 1, the competition is too high, and 2, you want to be focused in on the type of content you want to produce, and you'll have much more success. So on here, the first thing I'm going to do is just put some kind of prompt in, like just tell me about affiliate marketing businesses that you can actually run online. Okay, so you can see that it's giving me some very, very high level niches on here. So it's going to be health and fitness, fashion and beauty, tech and gadget, travel, finance and investing, home and garden, pet products, online education, e-learning, software and online tools, sustainable and eco-friendly products, personal development and subscription boxes. So what you can do now is you can actually start digging into some of these topics and figuring out whether there's something within this that you'd be interested in starting to write content around, because remember, this is about content. Now I'm actually kind of interested in this software piece. Now in my own channel now, I do look at certain types of software, but it tends to be the kind of make money online stuff, the stuff that's like 3 clicks and it's going to make you a fortune type software, which I look at to kind of warn people off, to be honest. And I had the feeling that I want to get into something a little bit more wider scope than just make money online, and maybe something that can help businesses. This is kind of my thought process at the moment. So I want to look into this in a little bit more detail. So what I'm going to do is take this one and actually bring this down. I'm going to ask it for examples of micro niches within this particular category. So I want this to kind of give me more options for software and online tools. Okay, so what it's done is it's now listed a whole bunch of software and online tools that I could use, and these again are the micro niches, and this is really what I want to build a business around. So one of these types of topics. Now it could be some productivity tools, email marketing software, SEO tools, web hosting services, website builders, design tools, online course platforms, VPN services, e-commerce tools, social media management tools might be quite cool, CRM software, or cybersecurity and software. So I'm kind of being gravitated towards these productivity tools. There's some of these tools that I use in my day-to-day life doing project management, and I think these might be quite interesting. So what I'd like to do is kind of look at this productivity tools and figure out, if I was to do productivity tools, what type of content would I be able to produce? So, you know, could I do videos, could I do blogs, what type of content would be good? So I'm going to ask it to build me a content plan. So what I've asked it is, can you build me a content plan for this topic? What platform, what type of content? So what it's done is it's actually started giving me different types of options for content. So it's said here I can have an introduction to productivity tools. Then I could do a detailed review of popular productivity tools such as Asana and Trello. These are the different types of products within this particular niche. It's talked about comparing different productivity tools. So say Asana and Trello, I would compare the two. Some kind of guide on how to effectively use the tool and a step-by-step guide. Just give me different types of options, which is quite cool because it means I can do review type content as well as explainer type posts as well. Now, what I want to do is I'm kind of gravitating towards using YouTube again. The reason being is that I'm used to making these types of videos, and I can make these videos without showing my face, which is one thing I want to kind of do on this journey, this 180-day business, is to make videos without showing my face, to show others that on YouTube, which is a really fast way of getting traffic over to your content, that it's possible to do without actually showing your face. It's a lot easier. So what I want to do is kind of ask another question on here, because I want to dig into, if I want to use YouTube, if I want to have faceless videos, what would the content look like? And here you go. So basically it's given me a 5-week content plan. So it involves having introductions, doing reviews on various tools, comparisons of various tools, some step-by-step tutorials of various tools, and then some case studies. Now this is quite a cool content plan for me. And then it's also told me how I can promote the videos on various platforms using YouTube with community posts, shorts, etc. Now this is great content. This is going to really give me a head start when I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for this particular business. One thing I do want to understand is who the audience is. And this is the kind of audience I've been delivering to. So professionals, students, educators, entrepreneurs, project managers, remote workers. So I think this niche itself has got a wide range of people that you can look at. I can also look at the type of affiliate programs in here, and you can see that there's a whole bunch of affiliate programs that I could go ahead and recommend if I wanted to, right? So what I recommend you do is go into the tool itself, and based on your own ideas and your own niche, start asking these types of questions. You want to understand from a high level the type of niches that you can start promoting. Now you could put in here something like related to dogs, related to pets, related to something a little bit more specific, and it's going to give you a whole bunch of high level niches. Then you want to pick one of them and drill into it a little bit more to figure out within that what type of topics could you start looking at. Once you've done that and you start thinking about the type of topics, you want to start figuring out what type of content you would produce. Now, it depends on the platform you want to use. I'm gravitating towards YouTube, but you might be wanting to write a blog, you might want to build an Instagram account, something like that will determine the type of content that you produce. And that's what you want to think about on here. So I'd literally ask it, if I want to start an Instagram account, for instance, in the dog training niche, what type of content would you actually produce? And this tool is actually going to start recommending. This is why this is 100 times easier than it ever was now, because it's going to give you loads and loads of ideas. Once you have that, you can start figuring out what type of content to actually produce. It will give you suggestions over the next few weeks, the type of content, whether it be review type content or how-to type content, which is always great for people. And then you can start figuring out, are there any affiliate programs in there? Don't have that be a driving force to start with. There will be something, but it's just, you know, as a note for you. And also, I looked into the type of people that would be interested in this type of thing. So I looked into professionals and students. Now, what I've done for this particular idea is I've actually built myself a mini little business plan. So what I've done on here is I've figured out what the overall YouTube channel should look like, and then I've looked at what the value proposition is for a particular audience, what the action plan is going to be as far as building the YouTube channel, and I'm going to follow this action plan here to build that, and it's going to tell me how to build my YouTube channel and then my website that goes along with that. and then what type of software I could be looking at, what type of audience that I've got, and then I've got a pretty comprehensive content plan here that I can go and follow. And I've also given myself some pros and cons. Now the pros and cons of mine is there is a lot of demand for this type of software. There is also quite a lot of competition, and the type of videos I want to do on here are going to be faceless ones, so they may not deem as valuable as some of the guys that are on camera, but I want to make sure that I'm doing them as simply as possible so that you can see, if you wanted to do a similar type of thing, that this would be something that you can do. You don't have to be on camera, which I know is a big problem for a lot of people that come on YouTube. So the other thing is I got some timelines here that I can start looking at, and again I'll start adjusting these as I go along. This is just a proposed timeline of the way that I can start building my channel. So that's what I've been doing in week 1. I've been researching the niche that I want to go into, and I've been kind of given as much information around that niche that I can. Now, if you're doing this for yourself, you don't have to have a comprehensive business plan or anything like that. I would just use something like ChatGPT and start researching a little bit of information about the topics that are interesting to you. Now, once you have that, and you can start using some of those kind of searches that I did around the type of audience, etc., that you can appeal to and the content you can appeal to, you can start to get a feel for what type of channel or what type of blog you might want to produce and what type of content you want to produce to actually build your business. That's the idea for this week. Nothing is set in stone. The idea is to go in here and do some research, maybe have a couple of options that you can start thinking about, and then come back to it later on and then do some more research and make sure it's something you're willing to build a business over the next 6 months, the next year, the next 2 years, because this is going to take some work, and that kind of content, it takes a while to actually build up to get real traction. Hopefully when you follow along with me, you'll start to see how that actually builds, because I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be starting with absolutely no content, and hopefully you'll see some traffic come in and you see how my traffic starts to increase. So that's what I've been doing this week, guys. Next week I'll do another video and I'll start talking about what I'm going to name the business. I've got no idea at the moment, and start talking about how I get a domain built, and then start talking about the channel itself. And it doesn't matter if you're doing a blog or you're doing a YouTube channel, you can still follow along, because a lot of stuff I'm going to be talking about is the thinking overall about the type of content to produce, not so much how I make a video or how you do a blog post. It's going to be all about the philosophy, really, about what you're trying to achieve when you're building content for your audience. Hope that's useful to you. If you haven't watched the first video, please go and watch the first video. I'll speak to you soon.